Well, let's get straight on into our discussion. Joining us, Wajahat Habibullah, Chief Information Commissioner, Arvind Kejriwal, of course, playing a very important role in the Right to Information campaign, T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner, Shubhra Saxena, this year's UPSC topper, Jayashree, who's part of an internet campaign to highlight corruption in the bureaucracy. Thanks all so much for joining us. Mr. Habibullah, sir, first to you. You have been in the system, a part of India's bureaucracy, I beg your pardon, and now some would say that you're really on the other side, trying to usher in a new transparency revolution. Do you really believe that the two cannot go hand in hand?
No, of course not. The two can very much go hand in hand. I think the RTI Act, and I've been saying so frequently, is a means of actually strengthening governance, making it more transparent and more accountable, which is the basis of its strength. I hope you haven't invited me as a representative of a corrupt babu. Nevertheless, I have been in the bureaucracy. I've spent my career in the bureaucracy. I don't think that one can really rate the bureaucracy at the levels that it has been rated in this report. Of course, I haven't studied the report, so I can't go into the details. But the fact is that it was not transparent. It was not accountable. That is true, and that is part of the legacy of the old colonial system which we inherited. Now the RTI Act makes it that. And that is a means of actually making it accountable not only to the public, but accountable to itself, transparent to itself, and therefore helping to strengthen the bureaucracy. Because I don't think, even if you say that there are a number of babus who are corrupt, and there are no doubtedly so, but now they can themselves judge each other and ensure that they strive for greater excellence.
Right, sir, but as a viewer here has written in to say that bureaucrats by their very nature are inclined to conceal information, how much of a challenge does that pose for you?
Well, that certainly is the challenge, because even when I joined the bureaucracy, with the IAS, the first things that the first thing that we learned was that don't disclose things. Information that is held by the government is information that is supposed to be kept confidential. Don't disclose it to anyone. Disclose it only when you have to. Now, of course, the philosophy is entirely changed. That philosophy was grounded in the Official Secrets Act of 1923, an old colonial instrument. Now, the theory, the basic theory that underlies bureaucracy, which I might tell you is increasingly recognized and increasingly appreciated. People may criticize the manner in which it is implemented, but generally it is appreciated. The philosophy is that information must be given unless you are compelled not to give it.
Arvind, has that been your experience as well? Right, sir. Has that been your experience as well, Arvind? There's so many viewers writing in this evening. Of course, I'm going to get into whether it's an image problem also, but has that been your experience? Indian bureaucracy, the big stumbling block when we talk about the right to information?
I think so. It's not just about right to information. Actually, I'm not very surprised about the outcome of the survey that you're talking about. And I'm sure that most of the people in this country are not very surprised about the outcome of the survey. I just want to make a distinction. There are a lot of good bureaucrats, but this bureaucracy, the system that we have in place cannot deliver, because this is a system that we have inherited from Britishers. And we need to go a little bit into the history of the whole thing. In 1830, Lord Metcalfe made a statement saying this entire country is run by various village assemblies. People gather together and they make their decisions, and those decisions are followed in those particular villages, and that's how the entire country was running. There was no bureaucracy. Lord Macaulay also made that statement, and they said that if the Britishers have to win over this country, they have to demolish the system of people making their own decisions. In 1861 and subsequently, this Collector Raj was brought in. Earlier the irrigation was managed by the people. Now you had an irrigation department. Education was managed by the people. Now you had an education.
And in 2009, this is how it remains.
Every aspect of human life was made into a department, and this was headed by a collector, and that collector was a Britisher. Unfortunately, after independence, we did not change the system, and we have the same system. And this entire system is loyal and accountable to the political masters, which were earlier were Britishers, and today they are the politicians.
Let me